I think we are live.
Oh, we're live. Hey, hello everyone, and how we doing? This is Jqred Doucette, and I am joined today by Patrick Howse. How you doing,
Uh,
Patrick?
I'm doing very well, Jqred. Thanks for being here with me today. Excited.
Yes, we're going to do some commentary on the round three match from the Lobster Con, the Premodern North American Championships between Flint Espil and Brian Kowal. So, yeah, so we're excited to do this. We're obviously the tournament happened a little while ago, but we have some video of it, and we're just excited to share it with everybody. I think we got a good match ahead of us.
Definitely we do. And Flint has an amazing deck. We're looking at Flint's deck here. We'll go over Brian's next.
Yep.
What pops out to you first when you're looking at this one, Jqred?
Well, I've actually played a version of this deck before, and it's a classic kind of combo of Angry Hermit, that's what it's called back in the day anyway. But he's taken two combos and kind of smush them together. So he's taken the Hermit Druid empowered kind of graveyard deck and smashed it together with the Phyrexian Dreadnought, Stifle Knot combo. So he's got two very powerful, very proactive kind of ways to attack the game, and it's one of the dreams is always putting two combos that are a little bit different, into the same deck, and so I
Well,
think it's going to be a good one.
especially with like in a format with meddling mage and other disruptions, right? If people get an idea of what you're up to, it's quite easy to disrupt you. They're not often expecting a second combo, especially not one that's as comprehensive as this list. This is really neat. Reanimator is
Yeah,
kind of one of those decks that I'm always a little scared to go up against. So this is cool.
yeah. And this is the reanimator that when it does its thing, it wins right away.
Mhm.
Because it puts the entire deck into the graveyard. You can kind of flashback a Cabal therapy to make sure that the coast is clear, and also then you can reanimate the Suture Ghoul, make it huge, make it hasty with the Dragon Breath, and swing it for lethal. So yeah, I think it's a good deck. It's very very strong, very powerful. But I think he's going to have a tough task up against Brian Cole's deck. If we want to switch over to that one, and
Definitely.
which is this is a variation of WUR Angels, Angel Make Angel Face, whatever you want to call the deck. Honestly, it's basically a red, white, and blue like kind of a tap out control deck, and he's got a lot of answers and a lot of removal. So I think it looks like it could be a tough test for Flint with this one. I haven't watched this match yet, but I'm excited to see how this shakes out because this list is pretty sweet.
So other than meddling mage, what? I guess he's got the four swords. Yeah, he's got a decent little uh disruption package for the first game. What about his sideboard? What do you think about that?
I think game one's probably going to favor. Actually, I don't know because you got bolt, swords, and fire and ice that are
And
all
meddling
good,
mage.
and melee mages that all deal with like hermit druid essentially. And then the other side of the combo, you got swords and seal of cleansing that can both deal with whatchamacallit, with the Phyrexian dreadnought. And hell, you can you can even you can even use Mother of Runes to interrupt a part of the combo by giving like it protection, giving the
Because
dreadnought protection from blue
no
from like
flyers.
facing.
So that's right.
Right.
If he gets a mom on the table early enough, he's got a nice blocker.
Yeah, it can do some disrupting. Actually, both those combos trample, which matters. So
Even with
that's
protection,
important.
is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Trample still goes
fantastic.
through. Yeah,
I didn't
so
So
I
if
think
you blocked with a 1/1 against a Phyrexian Dreadnought and give it protection,
you still take
whatever.
11.
Wow.
Well, I honestly, and it's also
Mother
for
Runes
that.
can't give you protection because it's not a color, but
Right, it can't give you protection for artifacts or whatever. But yeah, the trample would still trample through. But yeah, I think either way, I think this is gonna be a good matchup of one very proactive forward deck, and the second one a little bit more controlling. So I think we're ready to go on to the first game.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. We got game one coming up. Looks like Flint is finishing up his mulligans. I think it's going to mulligan down to 5 here. And we believe Flint is on the play as well. So I know Flint is going to mulligan aggressively to one of his two combos, basically. He wants Angry Hermit plus Reanimate, or Dreadnought plus Stifle or Vision Charm. So he's looking for that in this opener. What do you think Brian's looking for?
Brian's definitely looking for some kind of disruption. Well, you know what? Granted, he doesn't know what he's up against, so probably just a good mana base based on what he's got on his hand.
Yeah, good mix of lands and spells kind of thing. Because he
Definitely.
definitely needs the answers. He can't just take something that he's not the beatdown in any of his matchups, most likely. So he's looking for some answers. All right, so here we go. Flint is thinking about his first turn. He's down to 5 on the mulligan, and Brian has a full grip. And we start off with a turn 1. It looks like, I'm guessing, duress. Yep, there it is.
And he's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what he kept. Ooh.
Yeah.
3 fire and ice.
3 fire and ice. I believe that one of the glare is a Silver Knight, a Mom, and a Lightning Angel. Or no, it might be the no, that's probably a second source. I'm sorry. That's a fetch land. Pretty sure. All right, so Coastal Towers on turn 1. And then turn 2.
So we got green.
Yep. Turn 2, we're going to see the Kowal therapy.
Okay.
Yep. And that's going to rip. Yeah, that's going to rip the fire and ices out of there. Yeah, and Silver Knight's what he drew. And yeah. Okay.
He's probably making sure that he didn't have a swords.
Exactly. Yeah, he was definitely looking for swords in those first 2, because swords interrupts both combos. It kills Hermit Druid or Searchy Girl, and also gets rid of Phyrexian Dreadnought. All right. So now Brian's going to play on curve here. Probably just going to put out that Silver Knight is my guess. Yep, playing out the lobster plains, because where else would lobsters be but on the plains? The natural habitat is what I hear.
Guys have plains in New England.
Do we?
Yeah, kind of.
Not really.
Farming areas.
We do have farming areas, but I wouldn't say we have plains like in the what you think of in the Midwest and the Iowa, area where they're making like a bunch of corn. But we do I would say we do have some rural areas in that place out in Western Mass where there might as well be dragons. It's just very different part of the state.
Dragons and farming. We've got a Phyrexian farm equipment here.
Exactly, Phyrexian farm equipment. That's a good way to put it. Nice big 12-12 trampling piece of farmland machinery. Those Phyrexians, they like to build things big over there.
So that's right. So considering he mulled it down to 5, he's got a really solid start here.
Yeah, 2 pieces of disruption, and he got one of his main combos. He said, "Here we go. I'm going to rumble in with this here, 12-12 trampler and see what you can do about it." And
So
he's
going
going to take
8,
it.
or
I believe it's actually 7. I believe
7?
it's actually 7 because he did at least 1 fetch, and it looks
That's
like
correct.
he's All right, and nothing else, and pass the turn. Brian's going to probably thin the deck, go down to 6, I believe. Yeah. And then we'll he really is hoping for some red mana, it'd be my guess. But obviously can't fetch any of those. No Arid Maces or Scalding Turns in this format.
Nope.
No.
Bloodstained Mire, but then you're just pigeonholing yourself to red.
Yeah, no. That's not worth it. Definitely not. Okay, let's see. What's Brian get off the top? Thinking.
Oh, he's praying.
He's praying for the swords. Yep. Let's see if those prayers were answered. Oh, they are. There it is. Yep. Prayed and prayer answered. Yeah, the swords off the top. I mean, that puts.
I think that brings him up to 30.
Yeah, that brings him. At least. I mean, he's going to take some damage. He's going to take some damage from his mana base, but more than worth it when you're just killing the opponent before it matters. And here we go. We got some Mother Runes beatdowns. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, it's a dire situation when you're swinging with a mom.
Yeah, when you really need pressure any which way. All right, and then Flint follows that right back up with a Hermit Druid, so he's ready to go. He's setting up combo number 2. Yep, throwing it in there. Saying if you want to trade Mom and Hermit Druid, I'm fine with that. But I'm guessing that Flint, with his 30+ life or whatever it is now, he's quite okay to take that damage from the Mom with a wooden spoon. Might throw a book or 2.
Don't mess with her.
It's exactly when she comes in. She's going to be throwing books books in those robes. All right. Oh,
Another.
and we got
Is it a duress?
another duress. All right, so we're
Oh,
we're gonna try to clear the way.
he should have just played glasses of Urza.
Well, that server is not bad. Don't get me wrong, but like to know the way is clear is pretty great.
Absolutely.
However, it however it does not get rid of the card. It just lets you know if the card is there.
That's right. A duress is infinitely better.
Mm-hmm.
So in response, he's going to cast. He's going to tap something down.
Mm-hmm. He'll tap out the Hermit Druid.
Not the land. He doesn't have the mana to activate it at present.
Well, he's got the green mana. I mean, it just requires 1 green mana to activate
Oh,
it.
I thought it was 2. No, then absolutely
No,
not.
no,
That makes
yeah.
total sense.
Yeah, I mean, he's worried about like corrosive reclamation to like set up the library so he gets the reanimate or something like that. So if he can kind of disrupt that and draw a card really to get deeper to his next source, the plowshares or something, that's what's really key. Well, he got the red source finally. Unfortunately, he had to lose the bolt to the rest from before when he played that. But he's gonna put some pressure on. Here we go, swinging for 7. The Mother Runes beatdowns continues. All right, here we go. I mean, a third land could really do it. Could set up next turn for a win. Or we just play another Dreadnought, and I assume we're going to stifle a trigger again. Yep.
Oh.
Here we go. What you got, Brian? You got 3 more swords and 2 Seal of Cleansings that can answer this bad boy.
It's got to be about, what, 10, 15% to draw?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never been good at that quick math. I know like there's some poker players who know exactly how much it takes, but I've just never been able to figure it out.
I shoot from the hip.
Yeah, so it's 6 of 40, 48. Actually, that's not the hardest math to do. What is that? 1 in 6? 1 in 8? I think it's 1 in 8. If it's 6 of 48. I don't know how many cards are actually been drawn. Okay. Here comes 12. 12. And Brian's at 5 right now, it looks like. And it looks like Flint's also going to think about attacking with his Hermit Druid, which if Brian's at 5 is what I'm looking like at the phone, then it looks like Brian can soak up about 8 damage from the trample, and that one last little point of damage could be the difference here. So that's a good read. I mean, any disruption, obviously, any bolt or something like that would save. Well, he would probably die.
No, he's got it.
Yeah. There it goes. And the combo deck takes it home.
The
Fights
double
through
combo.
the double combo deck, yeah. Fights through the disruption and excuse me, has the disruption and punches through. Good game 1 win. Okay, so we're moving on to the sideboards now, and Flint's up a game, but I think he's still going to have some sideboarding to do. What do you think he brings in this matchup?
This is a tough call. I would say Exhume is probably really good.
Yeah, if he's going to focus on that side of the combo for sure. The cards I'm looking at right away though are Sylvan Safekeeper. I know Flint. I talked to him after this event, and he said they were the MVP of the day. That protects both sides of his combos. From Source of Plowshares, Lightning Bolts, Fire and Ices, just to be able to go to Olerade doing the protection that is needed to protect all of his big threats. So I think against a removal heavy deck like Brian's, I think that's going to be the number 1 inclusion.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at that card now that I was actually relatively unaware of until this matchup. That is a fantastic call.
Yeah, I think you're going to bring those in, and I think I could even see maybe another Cabal Therapy just for more disruption because of all the removal. I think we're going to see. I don't think much else comes in other than those things. You just want to kind of protect your combos against the removal, is my guess.
And what do you think is going to pull out for those 4 cards?
Oh God, that's always the hardest question, right? I mean, I think this might be a case where you kind of trim some things. I mean, maybe he cuts a Shallow Grave, I really don't know. Maybe the Elvish Spirit Guide at most. I really think he's going to try to keep it simple and just try to find ways to like keep the combos alive. So
Okay,
I don't
yeah, I
know.
guess
That's a
we'll
tough
see.
call. So we'll see. So going on to the next deck. What we should there's Brian's deck. This one he's gonna try to probably make things a little bit. I mean, first things to come in for sure is those last two Steel cleansings to deal with
Yeah.
the Dreadnoughts. Now the interesting thing is that only deals with half the combo, right? That doesn't deal with both sides of it. Like really, he would like 5 more Swords to Plowshares, essentially something that kills both sides of the combo, because they're both creature based. But I don't think we're gonna get that.
And we didn't see any of his reanimation combo pieces except for the Hermit Druid, did we?
Right, but that'll give it away to
That's
someone like
enough.
Brian. Yeah, that's enough. Brian knows what that card does for sure. But he also interesting doesn't have any graveyard hate. He doesn't have any Tormod scripts or Phyrexian furnaces or anything like that to disrupt the combo for the graveyard, which is good for Flint. So he's probably going to want to focus on that side of the combo actually, because that'll be the harder one for him to disrupt, because it doesn't necessarily die to. Like a lightning bolt or fire and ice. It can be disrupted a little bit, obviously, when you kill the Hermit Druid, but being able to bring back Hermit Druid is good too.
So he definitely brings in 2 seals. I could see him bringing in a worship. It's unfortunate that
Yeah,
it's only a 1 of with no way to search for it.
yeah, but it'd be hard to bring that in because I mean, to get to 4 mana, it's going to be kind of tough. Be able to hit turn 4 is really unlikely. So I'm thinking Brian's going to try to make this deck lean and mean. So he's probably taking out all those future sites, and just trying to one for one until he can start putting some pressure on with the angels up above.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Let's see what
Yeah.
they do.
So yeah, let's see what they do. So let's go down to the game number 2. Okay, and here we go. We're on to game number 2. Brian will be on the play. We resolve the mulligans and get things set up. I think we're about to look at the opening hands. This is funny. They're actually sitting across the table from each other, but they still do the 3 piles.
Habit.
Yeah, just habit at this point, I guess.
I know at LobsterCon I did it a few times too, and you're just so used to doing it from the last couple of years of not being able to play an in-person match.
I actually even though I trusted all my opponents, I still like to cut the deck. You know what I mean? It was just kind of fun to still like be across the table from somebody and cut their deck. It just felt so classic. All right, we're starting right off. Looks like both players keep 7. We got Coastal Tower to start in game 1. Or excuse me, a turn 1 for Brian, and then we got follow up with I'm guessing another Duress or a Cabal Therapy on turn 1 from Flint. Oh no, there's the Olarade. There it is, the Sylvan Safekeeper.
Called it.
Yeah, definitely coming in. Good turn 1 play. Will protect himself and also protect the combos. I remember Flint told me is that he actively went out of his way to try to protect these things as much as possible. All right, so that's a melee mage. We don't know what it's named, but I'm guessing it probably named Phyrexian Dreadnought or Hermit Druid is my guess. And interestingly enough, Flint really doesn't have a way to say no to to get rid of it. He's gonna have to find another way to win here. All right, it looks like we got. I missed that. That looks like a Hermit. That's a Hermit Druid in play. So my guess is that the melee mage is probably saying Dreadnought. So now we got the Hermit Druid in play, and that's going to be a problem. I mean, he's got tons of answers for it, but also Olarade is going to be doing some protection. Oh, we got some Chris Pakula beatdowns now. Man, all these famous, all these pro tour champions and such, with their own cards. You could probably name half of Premodern cards after pro tour players. Okay. All right, the fire to protect. All right, so we protected the Hermit Druid with the Sylvan Safekeeper and let the Safekeeper die itself.
That makes sense.
From the fire. Yeah. Okay. It leaves a Reflecting Pool, which I'm sure means Flint definitely has another land in his hand. This also means that if Flint just has, green source that also produces, so if he has a green-black land like a City of Brass, he literally can just do the Hermit Druid and do the reanimate this turn. Maybe he might lose to a Source of Plowshares, but he's also got the Cabal Therapy that would go in the yard that he could flash back. Let's see. Maybe he's not doing anything. This is the power of this Hermit Druid combo. It is just requires 2 mana and 2 cards basically,
That's
and
insane.
a turn. You know, it's just so good. He's passing the turn. Okay, doesn't feel ready to go for it yet.
Very conservative play by Flint. He's playing flawlessly. Swinging it for 2 again.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right, and we got a Seal of Cleansing. Sure.
Which, if he named Phyrexian Dreadnought, is not as effective, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I'm really wondering what he named with that melee mage. He might have named Reanimate. I mean, if the Hermit Druid's on the board, then that's fine. He plays out the Seal of Cleansing. Maybe he just wants to use his mana. All right, so end of turn, he's using the Hermit Druid. Okay. So now he's going to flip it over. He flips over his entire deck into the graveyard. So then in the upkeep, what he should be doing is he'll cast the Corrosive Reclamation in order to put Reanimate into his, be like basically the only card into his library, because that what it does is shuffles in 2 cards. But if you only have 2 cards in your your library, then it's your entire library. So you're definitely gonna cast it. Yep. So that's what he's doing. Flashback, Corrosive Reclamation, and he must have. I guarantee he's got a land in his hand that produces black. So cast the Reclamation. Yep. He's gonna get 2 Reanimates. There it is. So basically, this is how he kind of uses it as a tutor. So now he's definitely going to draw that card during his draw step. He draws that. He plays a land. So one thing that Brian can do here is he's going to reanimate the Suture Ghoul, but he's got the Seal of Cleansing, so he could Seal of Cleansing the Dragon Breath that gives the Suture Ghoul haste, which would buy him a turn. Suture Ghoul, yep. And let's make it big. Yep, that's 2 Dreadnoughts. That's 3 Dreadnoughts. We have a 4th for good measure. Nope. So we have a 36 trample, and then we got the Dragon Breath on there. And we're gonna go, yep, you seal the Dragon Breath. Very good. Yep, so now it doesn't have haste, but that's fine. So now I'm wondering if Flint's gonna flash back the use Cabal Therapy. Oh, he stifled it. Oh my god, he stifles the seal.
Ooh.
Oh, there it is. Stifle off the Lotus Petal, rolling in.
Game.
That's good. That's a quick one.
Holy moly.
That Stifle does more than just protect the Dreadnought. It also protects a Suture Ghoul, Dragon Breath monster. Wow. And that's the power. That is the power right there. Excellent. Good use, good secondary use of Stifle right there.
I'm flab. That was amazing. I've never seen that in action.
Yeah. Stifle is a hell of a card, man. Like I just I think a lot of people know about it, stifling the Dreadnought trigger. I think a lot of people know about it, like, being able to hit fetch lands, being able to stop Seal the Cleansings or, like Pernicious Deeds or whatever. Like it's just huge. Yeah, like I said, brought in those 3 Sylvan Safekeepers. But all right, and there we go. Flint wins 2-0 in round number 3 against Brian Kowal, and we're moving on to round number 4. Patrick, it's a pleasure doing the commentary with you. I hope
always, Jqred.
Yeah, indeed. I hope all is well, and we'll turn it on over to our next guest commentators for round number 4 when that gets released. All right. Thanks again, Pat.
Thanks, Jqred. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.